Hey yo, what's up everybody? It's me, Joe Pisapia, and welcome to another hit and run right here on FantraxHQ. And today we're talking a little shortstops, 3 shortstops in particular, stemming from a great conversation I had over as a podcast guest the other day, and I want to bring it here to the show right with you. And those names are Carlos Correa, Corey Seager, and Paul DeJong. Now, nobody will argue against the fact that Carlos Correa is the most talented of these 3 guys, and he is. And right now, still the most expensive, despite the down year, and despite 2 years where he hasn't played a full season. Then you got Corey Seager, who is a little cheaper than Correa in 2019 drafts right now, in early ADP, but he's got some injury issues as well, the Tommy John, a couple other issues also, so people are a little sketchy about him. And then you got Paul DeJong, who goes way later in drafts. And I just want to tell everybody, I know it might look good, like, hey, this is 85-90% of those other guys that have a ton of risk and I have to pay a big price for. But when you start to dig deeper into the stats, that's where you find out the truth and the reason why there is such a gap between them. Now, I understand season-long roto, maybe it's a little bit better of an argument. However, I'm going to try to throw a little cold water on that as well, because when you dig deeper into the splits and you see how terrible Paul DeJong was last year against left-handed pitching, so bad, in fact, when you're hitting under 200 against lefties, you're probably going to start losing at bats to lefties if you don't correct that very soon. He's also incredibly streaky. You look at the month-to-month, the guy is all over the board. There's some months with 1 home run, more than 1, and also some months where you're hitting 220, 2-0 this. That is not going to get it done. So that's a guy who's going to kill you in any head-to-head format you're playing in, whether it be points or roto. And on top of that, there is a danger of him potentially starting to lose some at-bats here and there if that lefty split doesn't turn around. Corey Seager, I understand he comes with some risk, but there's a lot more upside there, and Carlos Correa, forget it. Still a ton more upside, and I want to bring back another point too. Just 2 years ago, Carlos Correa in 109 games had an incredible elite-type season, although it was limited. Just because a young player has a down year, it does not mean that you need to discard him. Just look at Anthony Rendon. Remember a couple years ago when Rendon had a really good year, and then all of a sudden he was injured and he missed almost an entire season, and everyone gave up on him? Well, guess what? Every year since, he's basically become a 25-90 player, and he steals bases, and he does everything you possibly want, hits for batting average, drives in runs, scores runs. What more do you want? And hopefully, you didn't give up on him. So don't give up on Carlos Correa or Corey Seager yet, because you think maybe I can get 85-90% of that production from Paul DeJong. And I'll tell you why. Because the truth is in the deeper dig into the stats. Alright, you can follow me on the Twitter machine at Joe Pisapia17. Of course, get the Fantasy Baseball Black Book 2019 on Amazon and iTunes right now. And check out the Fantasy Black Book show on the Fantrax Podcast Network. Me, the Welsh, and Scott Bogman. It's good times. Alright, that'll do it for me. See you next time, kids. Stay on track. Look at you.